So how can we conquer that sinful, cowardly nature? The key is in the war manual.
But God forbid that I should boast except in the cross of our Lord Jesus Christ, by whom the world has been crucified to me, and I to the world.
Christ on the cross is the key to overcoming that coward within us, that Judas of the sinful nature, that betrayer of all that's just and good.
A father and son once went on a camping trip. When they arrived at the site, the father pitched a tent and said, "Son, you see that river? It's full of crocodiles. If you want to do any fishing, fish off the wharf."
The son reluctantly agreed that he would stay on the wharf. After 3 days of fishing, he began to think about the excitement of fishing amidst the crocodiles and the safety of the boat. So that's what he did. He obtained a boat and, in a sense of bravado, rowed out into the river.
He'd only been fishing for a short time when a crocodile came alongside the small boat and hit it with his tail. The boat turned over and the terrified boy screamed as he was being thrown into the water. The father heard him scream, saw what happened, and without hesitation dove into the crocodile-infested waters. He grabbed his beloved son and pulled him to the safety of the shore. And when the boy opened his eyes, he saw a terrible sight. A massive crocodile had wrapped its huge jaws around his father's legs, leaving him in bleeding shreds.
What I'm going to say is unthinkable. But imagine if that son looked at his father, lying there in agony, bleeding to death, and said, "Dad, I really appreciate what you just did for me, but I found it exciting out there among the crocodiles. You wouldn't mind if I go out in another boat again, would you?" If the son could think such a thing, let alone speak it, the blind fool hasn't seen the sacrifice that a father has just made for him.
And if you and I willfully desire to go back into the sinful excitement of the world, we haven't seen the sacrifice of the Father. If that son has seen what his father has just done for him, a sense of horror will consume him at the cost that his father has just gone to save him. He would pour contempt on the very drops of water that still cling to his flesh.
And the Christian has seen that God, in the person of Jesus Christ, without hesitation, dived into the very jaws of hell to save him from the folly of sin. A sense of horror consumes him at the cost the Father went to save him. He'll pour contempt upon the sinful desires that still cling to his flesh.